Okay, I just bought this scale fuselage for Hughes 500E. It'll fit most 450 size helicopters made by a line. I'm planning to fit it onto my Trex 450, also by a line. Inside the box, get a handy manual, explain all the little bits and bobs to you, some decals, some new skids, all the tail fins and those sort of things, as well as this very attractive Hughes 500 scale fuselage painted in US Army colors. Okay, now I particularly like this particular one because of the setup on the body. If you sort of look at it here, the whole nose cone comes off, and you then have good access into the chopper to be able to fit it, make adjustments, change your batteries, all that sort of stuff. It's also got two little magnets in the front over here, so when you bring it back together, it clips in quite securely, very nicely. Okay, so looking at some of the tools that we're going to need for this build today. Nothing special. Standard toolbox, pliers, some Allen keys, charged up batteries for later, some wood glue, express dry, and then I've got some screws, bits and bobs, screwdrivers, all that sort of stuff in here. Now, one of the first things I'm going to do is to assemble the tail gear. So it's basically these 4 pieces. And what we need to do is apply glue. This is made from some sort of a wood. I can't sort of exactly tell what type of wood, but we're just going to put some glue on that and stick it in place. This actually is a tricky one, because what we're looking for is a complete square fit. The top over there. Don't think it's going to have any effect on the way the chopper flies or performs, but I think it'll certainly look a lot nicer if it's straight. Right, put that aside for a bit and dry. Right, now according to the book, the first thing they say you should do is fit these space savers onto the bottom of the heli, and that's going to ensure that it sits right inside the chopper. Now this is also a bonus for me, particularly because I've actually assembled the chopper in such a way that my speed controller sits at the bottom over here. So if I do put these over here, it means that I can keep my speed controller where it is. I might just have to move it forward a little bit to get it sort of out of harm's way and have it in a nice, easy to access position. Alrighty, now as you can see, it sits nicely and flushly on there, ready to rock and roll. To the manual, what they're looking for us to do next, and I'm assuming this is because the glue has to dry, they want us to actually fit the landing gear. You can obviously adjust these later on. Everything perfect. For now, I'm just going to maybe show you this. They fit through the bottom over here in the little slots. Directional, they can only go one way. And then inside here, we have another little slot for it, right over here. It actually fits into there, and they want you to actually glue it down into that position. So I'm going to use a little bit of excessive glue just to see how that goes. Okay. Something I noticed just now, just a question that's popping ready. Sort of, I know in the meantime, with the kit they actually supplied this longer connector rod for the tail assembly, and I realized this is because I actually had to move my tail servo right up to the chassis over here as far forward as possible, and with that my original connector rod was actually too short. So these guys thought about that in advance and gave us the right one. Also what I did, I had to remove the original hooks where the original body actually fitted in, because with that in, it didn't actually fit into the body. I was hoping that it would fit into the body and then maybe keep it sort of center. I don't think that's a requirement, so obviously these don't fit. I've also had to remove the connector rods to the tail boom, but again I don't think those are going to be that necessary now with the larger assembly of the Hughes 500. So we are now ready to install the chopper into the Hughes body. And it should just slip all the way through. Right there. What's pretty smart is they actually made a little index over here for the back servo guide. Just slot into, so we know that we nice and center when that fits in there. And it's just a question of actually getting it perfectly into where it's supposed to go. It looks to be pretty center in the front over here, pretty center in the back, and the tail boom coming out the back over there, so we can reassemble that a little bit. Alrighty. Reassembling your tail rotor, keep in mind that these little blades push, they move anti-clockwise, so little round bits point towards the ground on this side, the back side. Put the face back on. There you have it. The only thing I've got left to do now is to cut out the little windows, stick it into place, and get up to the first test flight. Not too shabby.